Guten Tag. Erstens danke an die Technische Universität Dresden für die Einladung. Ich bin Volker RUITINGA, der Gründer von Vertigo. Wie Sie sich denken können, kann ich lange über 3D-Betondrücken sprechen, aber ich habe heute nur 7 Minuten Zeit. Ich werde auch auf Englisch weitergehen. Wenn es am Ende noch Fragen gibt, kann ich die auf Deutsch beantworten. English is easier for me, so it's going to go a little bit faster. Who are we? So we are Vertigo, founded in 2018 in Amersfoort with a concrete supplier and a construction firm and 2 other companies. We have currently completed 8 projects and we are building a tiny house now. We are located in Eindhoven. I am Volker RUITINGA, as I said, the founder of Vertigo. I have previous automotive experience and a degree in philosophy. What we're going to look at now is a quick video of our facility to give you a better overview, and then I'm going to jump into the projects.
Robotic and digital fabrication is a revolution in architecture and the built environment. And 3D concrete printing really is at the core of this development. Here at Vertigo, we develop the hardware to make this revolution possible, but also provide printing as a service for your project. At the same time, we develop the software and all other things involved in bringing this to fruition. In this space, we have the ability to do this, and we can also draw from the knowledge that's around us to bring us to the next step. So what is 3D concrete printing? What we've done, we've taken concrete and we've made a new mix in order to make it suitable for 3D printing. This mix we pump through a set of hoses onto a nozzle connected to a robot actuator. This robot will then move and place the nozzle in the positions, and repeating this process will create this object. We can also add accelerants to the material in order to harden faster and to create objects that have larger overhangs. So this system needs to be very much fine-tuned, and the combined makes an excellent result in unique objects designed straight from your computer.
That was a video of our facility now, of the capabilities that we have here in Eindhoven. I want to show you quickly some project images now and explain to you a little bit why each project is interesting, what made each project special. This is a bridge we did together with the TU in Ghent, and this is a topology optimized bridge in which the structure of the bridge was designed by a computer for minimal material use and printed with our 3D printer. So this reduced the amount of concrete needed by about 40%. And this makes for organic shapes, which are very hard to produce by hand, but which are very easy to produce with a concrete printer. The second project is a wall we did in the Netherlands, where we used a technique called Voronoi to define how different blocks could interlock to make a wall segment. This is a very good example of how to use simple construction design to make a very interesting and aesthetically pleasing object. This aesthetically pleasing aspect is something we focus on very heavily here at Vertigo. So we made these columns as well, which are also done by parametric design. This is a concrete canoe we did. This is the very first project we did. And to show you how much progress we made in a year, this is the same canoe a year later. We tend to do this every year now just to see what the state of the art is. That was the movie of our new nozzle, where in which we now add accelerant, and we can go much, much higher with very fine detailing. So our focus is really on this fine detailing segment in a smaller scale, but I'll tell you more about that in the market here. The problem we really have is that the added value per worker in the construction industry is very low. So over time, you've seen it increase in other segments such as the automotive, the agriculture, but in construction, it's very, very low. So this is one of the ways we can automate construction. You've heard about this in previous presentations, I'm sure. So we see automation requirements in the construction industry. We see a lot more digitization in the construction industry. And we see a lot more requirements for form freedom and unique design. And these things combined really make that 3D concrete printing has a strong place now in the innovation segment in the construction industry. I want to give you a very, very quick technical divide between how you can access 3D concrete printing if you're in the market for a printer yourself. So on the one hand, you have printers with an accelerator in the dry mix. Our colleagues here in Eindhoven use this technique. On the other hand, you have accelerators at the nozzle. So this is the accelerator nozzle that we've built, and you can add an accelerator at the very last moment to harden the concrete. This is an example of what you want to make with accelerator in the nozzle. It's very large objects you can make for constructive purposes. And here are some examples of the more aesthetic types that you can make with the nozzle much closer to the very end of where the concrete comes. To give you another quick overview, I've sketched just a few companies in our industry. I've plotted them over some axes. You can see some companies do exclusively in printing as a service and don't sell machines. Some companies are much more focused on selling machines. Some companies are focused on construction only, and other companies are in the architecture. So we can see here that we're much more on the architecture side because we don't have the scale to go up against the larger construction firms as well that do buildings. Also, there are a lot of challenges that go into buildings. It's very capital intensive. This is also the sort of place where lab scale universities also should look at this type of area of construction 3D printing first. There's a lot of monitoring software going on. It's much smaller scale to begin with for testing. And this is the much more capital intensive requirement. So you have to see yourself where you are on the spectrum. So this is what we do. We sell the hardware, we sell the software, we develop ourselves. And we also develop the pumping and the integration system. We do printing as a service and consultancy. So sadly, this is all the time we have. If you have any questions, please do ask, and otherwise email us at info@vertigo3d.com. Thank you.